Are you ready for some big progress on the spaceport? Stay tuned. This is Building Batuu. Yes, bright suns, Brick fans, and welcome back to another episode of Building Batuu. I'm BRICKMAD Sam, and on today's episode, we are going to be building the spaceport again. I had a big look through all of my pieces to see what I had available to me while I wait for some of the pieces to come in to finish off the tower. I found a great selection of pieces, and it meant that I could really get stuck into one of the sections of the spaceport. There is going to be a stack of progress this week, so make sure you watch all the way to the end. And of course, if you enjoyed today's video, hit the like button. If you haven't already, hit the subscribe button and the notifications bell down below. If you have anything to comment on for this episode, please feel free to drop that below also. And a quick reminder, the BRICKMAD MOC Contest for 2022 is still open for entries until September 15. So if you haven't started yet, there is still time, a couple of weeks at least, to get your builds in. So get building, guys, and hopefully you guys have a shot at winning some really cool prizes on that one. All right, let's not delay. Let's hit that hyperdrive and jump straight in. All right, so I'm looking to kick off today's episode with some brick sorting. Now, I'm pretty much just going to go through. I've got a whole stack of unsorted colors and things like that, which I really need to look through and see what I can actually use in what parts of Batuu while I wait for pieces to come in. So I'm going to start off there and go through and have a look through all of these and see what I can get out, and then I will pick a section of the build to work on this week. So that is how I'm going to sort it out, and hopefully it turns out for the best. So as usual, with hunting for bricks, things got a little crazy and I started resorting a whole bunch of things. But what I did end up finding is a whole bunch of bricks that's going to work great for that section. So that's fantastic, because what it means is I'm actually going to be able to continue over that side of the build. I'm also going to be able to work in some more of the tower. And just as a little preview as to what I'm doing with these bricks, check this out. So yeah, things got crazy. So yeah, with all those bricks, I think it's onwards to start some building. Woo! Okay, so here's a little bit of a close-up of where this is at. So I've got the window in there now. I've got these grates for these type of sections. They're pretty consistent, sort of. There'll be one here, one there, and then one here with the openings. I think there's only 2 in the actual park, but I'm going to make it 3 just because I think it'll work better with the space that I've got allotted to me. And yeah, I think this is generally going pretty well. I'm pretty happy with how it is. From a facade point of view, the only problem is I obviously can see through there to nothing. So what I'm going to do is actually build the section in here now, but because I've got this to the height that I want it to be at, I can actually start building a back section in there so I can put the tiles on top. So I'm actually going to take this whole thing out, firstly because it's super hard to actually build it way over the other side of the build, and I've kind of got to lie down on here and like get in there. Or sort of reach a long way, and then, you know, it's a pain. So yeah, I think I'm going to take this one off the build now and start building separate to this. I'm actually going to get ready for a live for tomorrow morning, so I'll actually be building more of this. So the next update you guys will see is going to be post that live. So hopefully I'll have a fair bit more of this built, and we'll have it back in the build for you guys to look at. Alright, so here we are with the update, the status update after the live build on Tuesday or Monday, if you're in Europe or the US. But here we go, I've got this is kind of where you got to last time, and what I've done is I've added on the back section, so when you do see through, there is actually something in there. I'm going to put a little kind of control board in here and put some lights in here as well, just to sort of shine around. And I've also tiled off the top section there, and I've put the start in for this here, which is going to basically run a little pipe right away round. And I've also started obviously just continuing this all the way along, and I've added in the second tier of hinge joints, which has really sturdied this up. If you saw the end of the live show, there was a bit of a disaster after I built it, so this is actually me putting it back together. I've put it back together after the live show. So yeah, I managed to put it back together in like 10 minutes. It's not a big deal. But now, basically what I'm going to continue on doing is continuing these grates into here, around this section and on this section, and then filling up all of this up to that same height. I don't have enough of these rounded pieces, so I'm just going to leave them off, but I should be able to keep building the rest of the platform in and around this as well. So we're going to keep going with that. And hopefully, I think we should be able to get finished at least all of this grey part, but hopefully some of the bottom section of the tan as well. So if we can get into that, that would be pretty awesome. It is not finished, but it is pretty much done, minus the parts at the top that have this curvature part, which will continue around all of these as well, which is why I've left this sort of section here. Basically the tire will come right up to here and here as well. So that's looking pretty good. I am going to have to do a little bit of extra work in these sections just to plug these gaps up. I've just sort of tried a few different methods of overlapping just to see how that works. What I'll probably end up doing is when I build in some of the rest of these rooms that need to be in there, because you can still see through there, but when I build in some of those rooms, I'm going to consider doing some sort of wedge work in here and here just to plug those gaps, so when you're kind of here you won't ever see the gaps in this section. But generally I think that is working out really well. I'm pretty happy with this. You can also see here that I've got some of this all of these different pipes. Now these will basically all plug into the Falcon at some point in the actual spaceport or anything else. Basically there's like fueling and other sort of lines that will be plugged in there. So they look pretty cool. I do actually like this yellow, and there will be more accent yellows down the bottom as well. So that's something that I'll have to be working into. The other thing that I'm going to do is I've also got to put some lights in this section on each of these in the middle. So I will actually need to take this bit off. I've just reminded myself there that I've got to do that. So I'll probably move that one over and then shift some of these into here as well. But that's probably a job for next week. What I'm going to do now is just put the bottom section on. So I have actually been working on some of these, which will actually line up with the bottom of these sections. So there'll be 4 of those. And basically that will be the height underneath this that the minifigs and stuff will be walking in and out of. So I've only done the front facades. I will have to do a whole back section as well, but that will obviously be a next week thing too. But I'm going to try to at least get these onto the bottom so you can see it in its full height, and then I'll dump it onto the build. So here we go. Let's jump in. Here we go, the big reveal for this episode. It's looking pretty good. I'm really quite happy with how that's fitting in there now. I think I've got the height pretty much where I wanted it to be. I wanted it to definitely sit below this section by about that much. It's pretty close to exactly where I wanted it, and I think that it kind of fits the shaping of the Falcon as well, quite well. So, and that's basically how all of the cords and things will be connected up this way, but you can sort of get a bit of a vibe of how that's working. And I think when I put a few more, obviously the flooring will make a big difference, but yeah, I think generally when I pull back here, you can really start to see where it's going to end up. And this is really getting me excited about finishing this one off. I think it's going to work really well, and especially once you got all the lights and everything in there. Definitely pretty chuffed with this, and I'm looking forward to finishing this one off. So let me know in the comments below what you think of this and how you think it's going, if there's anything you think that looks wrong or a bit weird. But yeah, generally I think I'm pretty happy with how this is looking on the build overall, and I'm looking forward to jumping in there and just finishing up all these things, adding in the lights as well. Really think this is going to be a cool little centerpiece for the build. So that's it for this week. Let's jump into the wrap up. Well, there you go. Working on this very iconic section of Galaxy's Edge has got me quite excited about finishing off this build. I cannot wait to get stuck in and get those pieces to finish off the tower and the rest of that section, because I think it's really shaping up to be a nice focal point for the whole MOC. Let me know in the comments below what you think of today's episode and also how the MOC's shaping up. Of course, there's stacks more to come on the channel. I'm doing a live this Tuesday if you're in the US and UK. It will be Wednesday morning if you are in Australia like me. I always seem to have a really great time on the live streams, and it really is made that way by all of you guys turning up. So please, if you are available, drop by, say hello, catch a little bit of MOC building and a little bit of banter too. So hopefully I will see you all there. If you can't make it, of course, Building Batuu will be back next week, and I'm hoping to keep this progress rolling, really getting stuck into that spaceport area and hopefully getting some of the flooring in very soon. So still a lot more to look forward to in Building Batuu, and I cannot wait to bring you next week's episode. But until then, enjoy your building, and may the bricks be with you.